Hold on, I'll tell you when. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me get. Oh man, it's already live, man. I didn't know we was live already. Hey, welcome to the GG Factor, man. I'm sipping my tea and chilling and not knowing that it's live. But I want you to know, man, that I'm just excited about what's going on around the world, man. Sometimes I'm happy about things, sometimes I'm down. But I want to make it official tonight. I just happen to look at my live button. You know, what can I tell you, man? It's been a crazy week, been the last couple of weeks, you know. But at the end of the day, I want to share some of those things with you tonight. I'm Gregory Griffith. I'm going to give you the Gregory Griffith perspective tonight and also offer you the opportunity. If you feel like coming into this tonight with me live, all you got to do is go to Gregory the Activator, click live on YouTube, and you're in the house, and you can come on live with me tonight. And also, I'm going to put it out there tonight. You've got a business. You're roughly, should I say, collecting about 6 figures a year. I think we can work it out that you can collect 7 figures a year. But you got to say, where are my pain points? Where are my problems? Where are my concerns? What are the things I need to do to take it to the next level? So tonight, on the GG Factor, once again, the Gregory Griffith perspective, we're going to look at what's trending in education, what's trending in politics, what's trending in healthcare, what's trending in your mental health, what's trending for you spiritually, and above all things, man, your peace of mind and mind, body, and spirit. I'm always going to offer you the opportunity to come into the Get Activated community. So when I start the music tonight, we make it official and we get into the groove of things to find out what's going on, where we at, what's up in the world today. And I'm here to tell you, man, that, boy, when I start the music, I want to say this to you. Well, today makes 21 days that we're into a shutdown. And tonight I'm not going to probably go very long, probably about, I don't know, half hour, whatever I feel like. It's my show. I can do whatever I want tonight. You know, my man Myron Edmonds is going to be here in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to him. I've got a couple of people pending. My neighbor right across the street, she's got this great, should I say, body moisturizing product that she's selling, and a whole lot of other things for wellness that are excellent. I've got a couple of guys who are in the real estate rehab business. Who else I got? I got my man Mason that's he's back and forth with me. I got my man Richard, who's also in financial services. I've got a lot of great people lined up coming up over the next 4 to 6 weeks. But when they can't make it, I decide that I want to do it. And tonight I'd like to tell you this. It really bothers me a lot when we have things going on that we seem to think we have a control over, but we don't. You guys over there, Facebook, over on IG tonight, YouTube, you know, LinkedIn, listen to me when I tell you this. You all know there shouldn't be a shutdown. If you know anything about the basics about our Constitution, you know there shouldn't ever, never, ever be a shutdown. There's something called checks and balances that we shouldn't have to deal with what we're going through right now. Somebody's supposed to check on the legislative branch to the extent that this won't happen. Somebody's supposed to check on the executive branch that something like this shouldn't happen. And that means that one branch should be keeping the other one in check so we keep the balance. But for some reason, there's this imbalance. And you know, when I'm talking about me and my program, you know what I call imbalance, don't you? Organized chaos. Organized chaos. When we got the country shutting down and the Republicans, they just take a break. They just decide that they're going to leave the White House. They're going to leave the Congress. They're just going to shut down and let everything just linger like this. 21 days, man. 3 times 7 is 21. That's 3 weeks. The second longest shutdown in the history of our government. And it all could be avoided. 1,400 furloughs. People who do not have their jobs. I think it was the Department of Energy. If I'm not mistaken, let me look at my little cheat sheet here. I'm telling you the absolute truth. And this man was so emotionally drained, or one of the officers there for the Department of Energy said, we've never experienced anything like this. Why should it be this way? Why should it be this way? I think I want to just sip my tea and get you contemplate on that. Why should it be this way? The other question is, why is it this way? Why is it this way? Why do we have such this pragma? Why do we have such this malicious aggression in a direction that just doesn't seem to be justified or speaking politically right now? I don't know, man. It's kind of scary actually, because we think about it that 47 is in his second term, and what he did during the first term, he dealt with COVID-19. He dealt with George Floyd. He dealt with a lot of things. The situation in North Carolina when this racist group just plunged into this girl, and 47 got on the microphone and said, oh, some bad people over here and some bad people over here. And then you sit and say to yourself, what's going on? I was watching CNN last night. I heard a guy, I can't even call the man's name, but I know what he said was true. Him and another guy were just really going at it. Abby Phillips' show, but she wasn't there. Someone was taking her place. But he just made some comments about what's going on, and he referred back to January 6th. And I just want to speak truth to it, man. That's the place where we have government every day. That's the place where innocent people were just maliciously injured. Police officers killed, damages to the property. And speaking of damages, did you see what 47 doing right now? The remodeling that he decided he wants to do. No other president ever to demolish historic building like this. Just went in, decided he wants to kill it out. Woo! Scary. That's all I can say. And here's something else that's going on with healthcare, man. I'm going to leave that shutdown alone, man, but I'm telling you something. We all know that it's a sad reality, because let me tell you something. 24/7, 168 hours a week right here. And the point I'm trying to make is this. You all going to tell me that way back several months ago, they couldn't negotiate on reasonable terms to keep these people who got 1,400 furloughs out, to keep all of these departments that are shut down from shutting down like this, and they impact people who really need them. Last week I brought it up, and I'm going to bring it up again this week only because it's close to home for me. I'm a retired teacher of the special needs population, high school teacher, and I'm also was the head coach for cross country. I'm a 25-time marathoner. That's how I got into running marathons, and I'm going to talk about that a little later, but what I want to talk about is this. I heard they are literally dismantling the Department of Education as it exists right now, talking about merging it with the healthcare services. It's scary. I don't know what's going on. And every day I try to get up and be a very, how should I say it, just in the middle kind of person, and not lean to the left or lean to the right. I'm just trying to stay right here in a neutral place about everything that's going on and trying to get some sort of quantitative rationale about it, but it's scary, man. And when I have the Gregory Griffith perspective, believe me, I'm not going to sit here and talk about anything that I can't really quantify, because then it's a subjective lie. And everything I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say this now. This might be subjective because it's just my perspective and opinion. All of this could be avoided. All of it. All of it. Mike Johnson, Chuck Shoemaker, Mr. Jeffries, all these people who are the big boys, somebody could have seemed like they could have been a little more aggressive about this some time ago. Now, do I know if they were or not? I don't know. But all I know is that it just seems like there was a lollygag going on. You know what I mean? A laissez-faire, very apathetic attitude about it. And now look what it's done, man. And you know what it leads to? When people get laid off from the jobs, it becomes mental health. People get laid off from the jobs. It becomes their physical health. It becomes chaos in their homes. I saw an alarming statistic that is very relevant to this conversation. 1.8 million divorces in America. I think it was 2023 was the last data that was collected on this. 1.8 million people who are widowed are less likely to even get married again. I mean, that it's, I don't know, man. And when you have situations like this going down, situations like this happening, you have to really stop and take an analysis about what's going on and what's the situation. So I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say this to you. And every time I say this, it irks me in the inside, that 40% of the registered voters in this country don't vote. So when we have an administration existing in the capacity that they do, because those people who did vote for our existing administration, for what we have now, what Donald Trump has, the platform that he has, J.P. Vance, the platform they had, the rest of us who didn't vote, shut up. But everybody likes to go yibbity, 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 yibbity when something go wrong, man. It's a sad reality right now. And it's sad because, come on, man, 40%, that's almost half the people in this country that can vote don't. But the impact is to everyone, whether you're apathetic or not. Something in that narrative needs to change. And I always say that, and I'll say it every week, because the first thing you do when something happens, you go to your mayor, you go to your city councilman, you go to your governor, you go to all of these state representatives, and you can run to them. And some of the people who are running to them, I bet you my life, are people that didn't probably vote at all, or people who were voting for people that didn't even understand what their position was or still is, but they still feel the, I call it what, impact. And listen, man, we're creating our own limitations right now. We're creating our own barriers right now. Let me tell you something that happened in this country, man, that really just pissed me off. It made me feel like, man, what the hell is going on with us? Over in Portland, Oregon, this ICE organization, man, these crazy ass people ran in, bam down a lady door, went in looking for somebody that didn't even live there. Now, you want to make sure you go and slap somebody's door down that you got the right location. You got the right motives. You got the right way to quantify it. And then they get there, realize they don't have the person they're looking for, and they take the lady's son and they take the lady's boyfriend, man. And they got no criminal records. They done nothing wrong, even if they were not registered. You are wrong, ICE. You went into somebody's place. It was the wrong place. And then you illegally took someone. You didn't even have papers or an alternative way of saying that you could do this. So I guess to make you look like you did something right. And man, they showed the front door of that lady's house. And I wonder who's going to pay for that. And this lady was beyond traumatized. She could barely speak because it was such a harrowing event. Imagine if you're sitting in your home on a normal night and all of a sudden you just hear like an earthquake coming through your front door. And then they're like full military gear, about 10 of a whole bunch of them for measly 3 human beings in a home. A young woman, her boyfriend, and her son. And all they want to do is exist in America. Don't you find all of this just kind of scary? Don't you really find it kind of scary? We are a melting pot of culture. We are a very heterogeneous, very diversified, should I say, cohort of people in the 340 million plus people in America. And on my watch and what I'm doing tonight, we got a whole lot of great things going in this country. And other countries got a lot of just sick chaos going. So what are the people trying to do? They want to exit us out. We've always been a place for you could come to. Well, all of a sudden it's not a place. Now, grant you, I don't want to sound like I'm supporting anything. If you've done something wrong, then you should definitely go to jail. If you come to this country from somewhere else and you got bad luggage with you, no, you should get your ass out of here. Now, I'm all for that. But how about the innocent people? How about the people who already deported and sent away to another country and maliciously handled and all kind of stuff? They come to find out they were wrong. Man, that's scary, man. That's scary. I've been on this about 10, 15 minutes tonight. I always make sure I do this unconditional plug. It's important to me. I love helping people. I'm on a mission. I'm a retired teacher, entrepreneur, full-time entertainer, real estate investor. Matter of fact, thinking about it right now, I got to renew my financial services license. Miriam, you got to remind me to do that. Boy, I hate to think about it, but I want to keep that license here because what I want to do, I want to be well informed about how to deal with the financial aspects of how they impact all of us. A good friend of mine who's a part of this financial services license business that I'm in, I've been trying to get him on the show. He's been having a few complications and scheduling conflicts. But if I can get this guy in here and he can sit down with you, and he can explain to you the power of how insurance works, the power of how compounded interest works. I forgot this man. Boy, I went to write his name down. I think it's Charlie Ponder. Don't hold me to this, but Charlie, he just happened to pop across my screen on YouTube the other day. Him and Warren Buffett are just like that. And man, he was breaking it down about your long-term, should I say, lifestyle management regarding your retirement, regarding your finances, regarding what you can do to let money grow for you. And I'm here to tell you this, and I've said it forever and a day. You'll never work harder than your money works if you get started early. I've got a book here. I meant to bring the book out and show it to you tonight. I don't see it, so I'm not going to look for it. But it's called Mr. Start Now, Mr. Wait Later, Saving Your Future. Simple little book, maybe 75, 80 pages. But if you just get a little bit of what I'm talking to you tonight about, I'm speaking to people who right now, they may be 30 to 40 years old, or even 20 to 30 years old. A lot of them don't get started. But even if you got 30 years left in your life to let some money work for you, can you imagine what $100,000 would do for you if you didn't touch it for 30 years? Well over $1 million. And the roller coaster of the stock market is proven to be this. In the end, it always corrects itself. It always corrects itself. And all I can say to you, unless you're taking your money out of a 401k to buy a property or taking it out to do something like I've done, finance this book like I did so many years ago, and I got this intellectual property till I die. I can go wherever I want, however I want, any bookstore, anywhere around the world and sell this book. Unless you're taking your money out of a compounded interest-bearing account for something other than another investment, shame on you. Don't do that. I sometimes wish I had took that money. I ain't going to lie to you, but I did it. I don't regret it. I got a property that's mine forever. And the point I'm trying to make to you tonight is this, that sometimes you need to micromanage your financial state for now so that later it won't be a big headache. I held up one of my medals tonight, and I always do it. I'm a 25-time marathoner. Behind me are two of my books. I still own an apartment building up in Tampa, Florida. I've owned strip mall. I've owned several apartment buildings. I've owned duplexes and rehab multiple houses and all that good stuff. And I learned so much about the power of real estate. And I want it to become something that you can get. So I got an unconditional, should I say, just offer tonight. If you're online with me tonight, or you can come, I'll always leave my episodes up. There's a link there in the comments to my Stripe account that all you got to do is go into the Get Activated community, click that link on Stripe, and I'm running a summer special all the way through. I just decided from the summer, I'm going to do it all the way to the end of the year. It's normally $97 a month, but I love to help you reboot yourself, reposition yourself, help you look and take an analysis pre of where you are now and post of when you want to be. It's called my 30, 60, 90-day challenge. And all you have to do is put up $49.99 for what? 3 months. That's $150. Aren't you worth it? Aren't you worth it? $50 a month for 3 months to reposition yourself, $50 a month for you to micromanage where you are versus where you want to do, $50 a month to take analysis to avoid paralysis, $50 a month to learn how to monetize your passion. I'm sitting here right now on this YouTube show tonight because I love inspiring and empowering people. You hear me, IG? You hear me over there on YouTube? It's just something inside of me. I think that's why I was a teacher for 31 years. One of the most gratifying things I could ever do other than being a parent myself and having a beautiful granddaughter. And I'm here to tell you this, man. Nothing can be more rewarding than when you see the light bulb come on, when you allow someone to expand their cognitive domains, when you've allowed someone's level of self-esteem to take another notch up. And in my community, it's called the Get Activated community. For that $150, you can do it $50 a month. You can pay all 3 months up front, however you want to do it, but unconditional guarantee. If you take my 30 days to a new you challenge, just the title of this book, and you give me 30 days, IG, you give me 30 days, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. That's all I'm asking. Unconditional guarantee. But I know something that's the truth. Your life won't be the same. First and foremost, you're going to take a pre-analysis. That's called my personal empowerment analysis. Simple questions like, are you exhibiting your OPA, your optimum physical appearance? Simple questions like, have you realized that your imagination is a conversation with the spirit in you? Simple conversation about, have you recognized where the real spirit is? Questions like this. That personal private analysis will allow you IG, it would allow you Facebook, it would allow you YouTube, it would allow you LinkedIn to say, aha, I see what Gregory's talking about. So unconditional plug about what I'm doing. You obviously too, let me make sure you understand. You get a copy of this book electronic, or you get a copy of the one right behind me, Activator Stagnate. We all should be activators. That book is the wellspring for me writing 200 or 300 journals to my students while I was a teacher at Coconut Creek High School from 1992 to 1996. And in 1996, I went to Flanagan High School, stayed there 16 years, did my last 10, 11 years right down the street. I was very spoiled. I will not lie to you. That is probably why it took so long to do what I'm doing now. You know, imagine walk out your door, go through your security gate, turn right, go up to the corner a half mile, hit another mile down the street, turn right, and you're at work for over a decade. And guess what? I still have that intellectual property. I'm still certified to become a teacher, and I still have relationships, which will always be the new currency. So come on into my camp, get my intellectual properties. The other part of this equation is this. If you decide you really want to give me those 90 days and you want me to micromanage you, then I have something called the 30 Days to a New You MPC, which means Maximum Potential Coaching. So you got the Get Activated Community, $47 a month. You got the one that's usually $9.97 a month. It's $5.97 a month. You'll save yourself $1,200 if you get into that one. Listen to me. I've had mentors for most of my adult life, and I wouldn't be sitting right here right now. Shout out to Brendan Boyd. Shout out to Israel Durant. Shout out to James Melanchak. These people have been inspirations to me, and many other people on another level that have just poured into me and helped me realize that I can reach my maximum potential. So I hope tonight that you'll consider this. Go to theactivator.net. That's my website. Click Get Activated Community, or you can click on the 30 Days to New You Maximum Potential Coaching. So let's get back to the reality of what's going on. I know you know who Bill Maher is, right? Maher, I hope I'm saying his name right, M-A-H-E-R. This dude is a comedian, but let me tell you something about where he comes from politically speaking. Woo! He is a heavy. I'm just going to leave it like that. He had Arnold Schwarzenegger on his show the other night. And the reason why I have to bring up Bill Maher is because he calls it just the way it is. He's not speaking from a left or right side. He's speaking from just his side. And the way he looks at it, man, I love it because he quantifies. He puts it right out there. And I think his name is Zorkin. Forgive me. I think it's Zorkin. I can't remember this man's last name, but I do know the name of his book is 1929. And both these guys were his special guests the other night. I'm looking to see if I had the right name of that gentleman in his book. I don't want to mess it up. But if I do, nothing I can do about it right now. But I'm here to tell you this, man. Oh, boy, was he so powerful. They're saying that there's a threat right now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how. He seemed a little subjective but what he did do because of the title of the book is when we had the crash back then. He's saying that there is this possibility on the trajectory and the direction that we're taking right now, politically speaking, that we could be headed toward another one of those massive shutdowns, not just the government, but a big recession. The book is called 1929. I'm gonna probably support him and get that book. But Schwarzenegger, Arnold, the Hulk, an immigrant. Hello, he's an immigrant. Trump's wife, an immigrant. Former governor used to be here before Santos' wife, immigrant. People coming from everywhere doing their thing. And Schwarzenegger is a clear example of it, man. He came to this country. He found the right formula. He found his blueprint for success. He carved it out. He used his body as his intellectual property. Bodybuilder, the rest is history. This man, an immigrant, was the governor of California. And man, let me tell you something. Some people may not like me for saying this right now, and I really don't care whether you like me or not because I'm speaking truth. Wonder if he would have ran for president just this last term against Trump. Mm, something to think about. Because when you get Arnold Schwarzenegger's perspective about things, when you understand he's calling apples apples and oranges oranges, the way he put it, and he's a Republican. I have nothing against Republicans. I've been a Democrat all my life, and I don't have a problem telling anybody about that. But I'm already telling you that I'm thinking about becoming a liberal. So somebody swaying over on that side of the coin, and I like it, I can go that way. And that's really good. But you know something? Here's the point he made. He said, sometimes we have to step back and analyze what's best for all people, not just some people. Sometimes we have to step back and analyze the present conditions that we're in and continue to do the same things, getting the same hickey. Should we continue to do that? And whatever philosophies that he discussed the other night, Bill Mayer sit there and he just seemed to be so in concert with it. They rarely even had a conflict going on there. And when they did, it was in an amicable way to resolve it and move forward. For some reason, I don't know what it is, what's going on. All I know is that, thank God and I give all credit to 47. I always say, man, anybody can bring peace. God bless you. God bless you. But man, back at the ranch, we got some traumatic stuff going on in this country right now, man. That ICE situation is way out of control, man. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not going to go back there. I've already revisited that. But the impact, the domino effect, the racial tension, the kind of tensions that is causing in this country, it's scary, man. And it makes me very uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest. Because you don't know who you're walking around. You don't know what kind of mindset is out there. Did you hear about this? And I might as well bring it up right now because it's so relevant to the conversation. A family member gave a call to the airport in Atlanta, Georgia, and said, I don't know if it's her son or her brother or her uncle or somebody is on the way to the airport and he's going to shoot up everybody. This is the kind of heterogeneous nature of the level of diversification of mental, should I say, just breakdown right now. Mental deficits, emotional breakdown. This man, 49 years old, and guess what? They caught him. And when they went through this truck, they found the rifle the man had. He parked right in front of the airport, got out and went in, went through security. And they found out. And here's another scary reality. Mentally ill person. But he's capable of doing what? Owning a truck, driving around in society, and functioning like everyday people. That's suspect. You can't tell me there haven't been enough tests done on this man over the years that he should be allowed to be out there independent that way. And there's another segue that I won't get into tonight, but it makes it scary again about guns and access to them. I hope if only 10% of what I'm talking about tonight resonates with you, because it's critically important that, everybody's voice matters. And sometimes the man said in Atlanta, when you see something, say something. Because just now, when that man's, I don't know, I'm not very specific on the details, but I know it was a family member made the phone call. Then they start checking on all the obscure details about what this man done. Man, let me tell you something. Boy, it's scary. If they might have been 30 minutes later, another malicious, unjustifiable killing. They found a very high-end rifle in this man's truck. They quickly arrested him, apprehended him, and thank God life went on as it should in Atlanta, Georgia a couple of days ago. Or we'll be reading about it, another tragic situation. There's so many other things we need to be addressing in this country, like gun control. So many other things we need to be addressing, like the reason why they just decide to tell people they don't need a vaccine. What was that? This breakout of the measles right now. And almost all of these people had no vaccines. I would be scared if I was a teacher right now, or I'm going to school around other kids with parents who's taking this stance against the vaccine that way. It's for the most part been a lifesaver. It's been a lifesaver. But then it comes back to the present administration, the people who've been hired, the mindset of them. I'm telling you guys, man, I may not be that important to you, but I'm going to tell you something, man. We need to really accept some reality here. This ain't working. The kind of chaos we're dealing with right now, the traumatizing events that are occurring right now, it ain't working. There was a gentleman on 60 Minutes the other night. God forgive me, I can't call this man's name. And I wanted to be more specific about it. Wow. I really wanted. Miriam, do you know who the guy was that? Wow. He was a very high official. What was his position, man? It's irking me. I meant to make sure I wrote it down. But here's the point I want to make about all of it. Since I can't, man, I'm looking at my notes because I really wanted to speak truth to this. What's that man's name? Forgive me, but what I do know about him is this. Listen to me. This man spoke up against some things that he felt wasn't right. One of the most highly regarded people in his position. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it hurt me. It hit me in my heart. When he decided not to agree with something that Donald Trump made sure he wanted him to agree with, they fired him. They had no other reason to fire him but that. Politically motivated, malicious, aggressive, I don't know what, just assertion on a human being. And this man has lived his whole life in this position. It's all he's ever done. All he ever wanted to do. Decorated attorney, defense attorney, worked in all type of great positions. Man, I feel terrible. I thought I had the man's name written down here. And forgive me, because I would love to put the man's name out there, because what did he say that tapped me off the most was, listen, I know what they're doing is wrong. I know it shouldn't have happened. Then they started to talk about other people like James Comey. What's going down with him? Bolton is his other guy's name. A few people now that 47, he just slugging at him. It's scary. And only because people are just speaking up to voice their opinions. That's all that's going on. That man, 47, furloughed, what do you call it? Gave 1,400 people involved with January 6th pardons. 1,400 people at some point was involved with some of the malicious attacks, pardoned. Maya Angelou said it. When they show you who they are, you better wake up. That's all I can say, man. And I've already had the wake-up call. I am an African-American. I know what it's like in this country. I've lived through it all. My birthday in about 10 days. And I'm just so grateful to God that I can sit here like this. Because as I speak, and I don't want to sound contradicting, this is still a great country. We just got some issues going on. This is still the best place in the world that anyone will want to live. I've traveled all over the world, been different places. I'll still take America. But under the conditions that we're living with right now, with the malicious attacks on people, with the uncomfortable vibrations that are going on right now, the way our government is just shut down right now with no regard to other people and the ramifications of those actions, it is scary, man. It is very, very scary. And so here's what Gregory Griffith is going to bring up tonight that's very important. You need to be ahead of the curve. I made an offer to my Get Activated community. You need to be ahead of the curve. You need to understand that if you have an opportunity that you can monetize something that you just love to do. I call it my P3 theory, something that you live with a passion that's always a purpose, and the universe will give you the possibilities. If you know you got something like that you can make additional revenue show up in your home, in your family, and you're not doing it, shame on you. You must monetize your passion from an entrepreneurial perspective. And I'm not saying to go and quit your job. I never quit my job as a teacher. I have an undergraduate degree in business, a master's degree in education, and I made a big decision 30 plus years ago. I could have continued to be a full-time musician. I'm sure I probably would have found my light under the sun. That's one of my intellectual properties. But I realized the roller coaster of the music business. So what did Gregory Griffith do? He took his love for educating people. He took his passion for dealing with kids. I remember my coaches. I remember my teachers. They were like role models to me. They always will be. There are people around me I don't even remember, but boy, most of my teachers, I won't forget Miss Hills. Dr. Drummond, no. Professor Rodriguez, no. Lindsay Sargent, no. Can't forget them. Guy St. Paul, no. I can't if I only wanted to try to. Miss Lazara, Mr. Leone, teachers. Shame on you, America, you're paying pennies. Shame on you. That's the reason why I had to get another job, because I love my job, but it wasn't paying me enough. Do you know right now, a full-time teacher living by herself can't qualify for a house right now in America? Shame on you, America. That's sad, man. That's ridiculous. These people are molding minds. They're the practitioners, the facilitators of education. And you can't sit down. Now, if your ass had a shutdown about that, that might be something to talk about. Shut it down and pay these people, man. There's something wrong. I'm sorry when it gets my blood just boiling like this. It's something wrong. The way they maliciously found that man the other night in his great position. Something wrong. Something wrong, man. And I don't know if we can get it right. Maybe the 40% of the people who don't vote will get registered. And I heard they're registered voters. I'm sorry, 40% of registered voters, if they just stepped up to the plate, that's a game changer. Something might happen in America. So I don't know, man. It's one thing that you want to be in a profession. Then it's another thing that the government dictate what that profession pay you, and then you can't. I had a few colleagues when I first started teaching, man, that were just teacher assistants, and some of them were well-to-do. Some of their husbands were attorneys and entrepreneurs, and then there were some that were single parents. And my heart goes out to them to this day. Because if they didn't have a spouse or a significant other or another income, it didn't work for them. They barely had gas to get to work and back. They barely could keep the rent paid. And they had to go live in an area where they didn't really want to be because that's as far as the paycheck went. That's as far as it went. And right now, when they dismantle the Department of Education and the special needs component like they did, and they're trying to cut back and we don't have enough. There are 8 million kids with disabilities in America. 8 million. I'm going to keep yapping about it till somebody wake damn it up, man. You're going to take away the programs from these kids who can't even take care of themselves. I've taught these kids for 31 years. Some of them can't see, can't hear, can't speak, can't feed themselves, can't go to the bathroom, can't get up out of a chair, can't even get up out of bed without assistance. And you want to block the programs. Come on, man. Something is wrong in this country. And I'm going to keep trying to make my little money because, I know money is power. That's the only reason why Trump president. He ain't no genius. His family wealthy. They got money. Plenty of it. And it's enough money that they ain't never going nowhere. Just like JP Vance, they got an organization right now. You need to know this stuff. It costs you $100,000 to $1 million to get in the organization. And Vance is the head of that organization. And I hear that they have all kind of, should I say, financial muscle. Get your financial muscle. If you're just a regular working class person right now, and you don't even have, should I say, $1 million in equity in your life right now, and you want it, then you need to go get it. Because money is power. Money is position. And the people who got money and power right now, they just happen to be sitting in the White House and they got position, bro. And they flexing. They flexing on us, y'all. They flexing. And the only way you can circumvent around that is to get your money. You got to get paid out here. I realized that about after 3 or 4 little checks from the teaching system, I say, this is not enough. And I dared to become an entrepreneur, and I did. And dear God, I'm so grateful that I did. I'm just grateful that I did. And I learned so much about things that I didn't know about. This guy, Charlie Ponder, I think that's his name, who's a great friend and partner and business investment guy with Warren Buffett. He said it. Keep expanding your cognitive domains. Keep learning, not just in your expertise, but other expertise. Learn about history, learn about finance, learn about religion, learn about healthcare, learn about the things that matter most from a balanced perspective. That's my job. I believe in balance. I'm gonna be 71 years old in just a matter of days, and I feel great. And I can attribute that I held up one of these a little earlier in this conversation, that I could run 25 marathons, and I didn't start running them until I was over 40. I'm going to attribute to balance. I realize I'm mind, I realize I'm body, I realize I'm spirit, and I knew there's a mix for that. And I also realized this, 24/7, 168 hours a week to be the best version of myself that I could be, and I carved out the time. I'm going to do the invite again, and I'm going to get off here tonight. But I said I'm going to go about 40, 45 minutes. I'm 40 minutes in right now. I got about 5 minutes. Listen to me. It's a very simple saying. I'll take you to the well, but you must be thirsty for change. You must be thirsty for the next level. You must be thirsty to define yourself. You must be thirsty to say, I think I hear what Greg Griffith is saying to me tonight. I might want to try this. So come on into my camp. An unconditional 30 days to a new you, money back guarantee. You can get a copy of this book or the one behind me, Activate or Stagnate. And I'm telling you something. Either one of these books can really make a difference in your life. I'm holding them up to say this to you. They're true about me. A lot of them is introspective on my life, what I've been through, what I had to deal with, where my tenacity and my audacity to function in the capacity came from. And you know where it came from? Let me tell you something. And I'm about to finish my book right now. And I'm hoping that between now and Christmas or the New Year, deprivation has always been my greatest motivation. Don't ever forget that. Yes, I'm a child of the 50s. Yes, brown versus brown. Yes, when there was whites over here, blacks over here. Yes, you couldn't eat there. Yes, you couldn't use the restroom there. Yes, I lived through that. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like when a girl didn't look like me and I liked her and she decided she liked me back and her daddy told me, if you come here again, I'll kill you. I know what that feels like just because of the way I look. And all I'm saying to you is this, that you know something, man? You can never let none of that stuff stop you because it's all mindset. It's all mindset. I asked the question earlier. I'll help you get there. If you say I'm worth $1 million, but I want to be worth 10 million, I got you. If you say I'm only worth 500,000, but I want to be worth that million, I got you. I want to write my first book, I got you. I want to buy my first property. I want to get my net worth up, I got you. I want to understand more about why and how I should have insurance policies that'll pay me for the rest of my life. I got you. And the only thing I can tell you is this, man. And people, listen to me. The clock is ticking. I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm just praying for a little overtime. You know, I'm hoping they'll keep the guy around the block for a minute. And this guy, Charlie Ponder, 95 years old. If you've heard him, he incredible where his position was, his vigor, and more importantly, his cognitive abilities about what you need to do right now. Put the time in, and it'll take care of you later. So all I can say to you, man, is that we got a lot going on. Zelensky came back to the White House. I don't know what happened there. I heard that Israel dropped another bomb even after the ceasefire, killed 6 people. I heard so many things going on still across the world right now. If you woke up in your home and there wasn't a bomb going off, dear God, you should be on your knees being so grateful. If you go to bed tonight and there are no bombs going off, dear God, you should be so grateful. Please, just trust the process that living in mind, body, and spirit is a non-negotiable. I'd like to help you with that. Once again, theactivator.net, click the Get Activated Community, or click on 30 Days to New You MPC, which means Maximum Potential Coaching. I'd love to be there for you. This has been another great night tonight. I've absolutely enjoyed it. If you want more of what you listened for tonight, listen to me. I'm going to start to have guests on my show who are not entrepreneurs, people who may have a pain point. People may have a desire to take their lives to the next level. People who may need some questions asked. And guess what? It'll be an open forum. And what I'm going to do is this, because people who can come in and share something they've been through to get to, I think that's important. And my guy Brendan Boyd and I was talking about that today. Yes, I'm still going to have special guests coming up, people who can quantify their life story to you about how they got where they are. But I want some everyday people who are struggling with things that they're doing to come on into this Get Activated community of like-minded people. And that's on the Scribe Masterclass. And I didn't mention it until right now, every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Every Tuesday night like this, we have the GG Factor. And more often than less now, people who are just like you and I that need a little help. And if you think you need some questions asked, if you think all you got to do is go to my Instagram, DM a message to me, I'm going to start checking it every day. I'm going to ask people simple questions like, are you happy? Sometimes you got to ask yourself, or sometimes you got to affirm to yourself, sometimes just 3 words. I am awesome. I am unique. I am wonderful. I am powerful. I will strive. All these things are so good yourself. And if you can't get up every day and have that kind of P3 mindset, that passion, purpose, and possibility mindset, then you might need a mentor. You might need to come into my camp. So when I start the music again, my friends, that means that we've reached the end. I hate to let this end because I'm just enjoying it all. And I hope some of what I've discussed with you tonight would be a game changer about your perspective, about your shift. His name is Simon T. Bailey. Unconditional plug to Mr. Bailey. Go out and get his book, Shift Your Brilliance. He says something that I'll leave you with tonight as I pop back on my music. Never, ever forget this. Relationships will always be the new currency. You hear me, YouTube? You hear me, IG? You hear me, Facebook? Relationships will always be the new currency. I'm Gregory Griffith. Thank you so very much for being with me on the GT Factor tonight. It was the Gregory Griffith perspective. Who knows the next guest will be, but guess what? They will inspire you. They will empower you. I promise you that. So until the next time, maybe this Thursday night, the Strive Masterclass, and here's my acronym: study, try, remember, innovate, visualize, and educate yourself forever. Strive with big prize for the grand prize of success. See ya Thursday night, 7 o'clock, the Strive Masterclass. Yeah. I had a great time tonight. I hope you did too.